In this video, we're going to see in detail about resources and development. What is a resource? Everything which is available in our environment and can be used to satisfy our needs, provided it is technologically accessible, economically feasible, and culturally acceptable, can be called a resource. Resources can be classified into natural and human. In natural, it can further be classified into renewable and non-renewable. In renewable, it can be continuous or flow and biological. In non-renewable, it can be recyclable or non-recyclable. When we come to the classification based on human, it can be structures and institutions, or it can be quality and quantity. We can classify resources on the basis of origin, on the basis of exhaustibility, on the basis of ownership, and on the basis of status of development. Let's see each one of them in detail. On the basis of origin, we can classify resources into two types: biotic resources. These are the resources that are obtained from the biosphere and they have life. For example, we can take ourselves human beings, flora, fauna, fisheries, livestock, etc. Abiotic resources are those things that are composed of non-living things. For example, we can take rocks, minerals, sunlight, wind, water, etc. On the basis of exhaustibility, we can classify resources as renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Renewable resources are those resources which can be reproduced by physical, chemical, or mechanical ways. They are also called replenishable resources. For example, we can take solar energy, wind energy, hydroelectric power, forests, wildlife, etc. Non-renewable resources are those resources which occur over a very long geological time. It takes millions of years for their formation. We can take examples as minerals, fossil fuels, etc. They can also further be classified as recyclable and non-recyclable resources. On the basis of ownership, we can classify resources as individual resources, community-owned resources, national resources, and international resources. Individual resources are those resources which are owned privately by individuals. In villages, many farmers own land which is allotted to them by the government against the payment of revenue. But there are many who are landless also. In urban areas, people own plots, houses, and other property. Other individual resources are plantation lands, pasture lands, ponds, water and wells, etc. Community-owned resources are those resources which are accessible to all members of the society. For example, it can be wells, picnic spots, or public parks. National resources are those resources which belong to the nation. But technically, all the resources within the political boundaries of the country, which include minerals, water resources, forests, wildlife, and land, belong to the country. The country only has permission to extract minerals up to 12 nautical miles from the coast in the oceanic area. Beyond in the exclusive economic zone, that is beyond 200 nautical miles from the coast, the open ocean is controlled by some international bodies which include the international resources. On the basis of status of development, we can classify resources as potential resources, developed resources, and stock. Potential resources are those resources which are found in a region but have not been utilized. For example, in Rajasthan and Gujarat, there is an enormous amount of wind and solar energy, but they have not been developed so far. Developed resources are those resources which are surveyed and their quality and quantity have been determined for utilization. The development of these resources depends on the technology and the level of their feasibility. Stock are those materials which are present in the environment and they can satisfy human needs. But human beings do not have the appropriate technology to access these resources. In this video, we have learned about what is a resource and the classification of resource on the basis of origin, exhaustibility, ownership, and status of development. We can see further concepts in the next video. Meanwhile, like, share, and subscribe to my channel.